So welcome to F is for Feral, and in our last episode we spoke to two ladies over the age of 60, and they proved to us that it's never too late to start strength training. And today we're going to go to the complete opposite end of this age spectrum, and we're going to chat to teenagers, two boys, who are showing us that it's never too young to start strength training. So we're going to start with you, Caleb. You have been training with Amy for how long?
Roughly, I would say a year or so. Roughly a year. Maybe
a year.
9 or 10 months, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Somewhere there.
All right. And Silviano?
Okay, so if I had to think it back, it's been approximately 6 months.
Only 6 months.
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, and Caleb, you are 18.
Yes.
You are in your matric year. You've got a brother, and you're also a pro lifeguard
Yeah, in season, yes.
in season.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's quite cool. And Silviano, you are 17, also in matric, and you've just competed at the AWPC powerlifting competition. So that's amazing, right?
Yes.
We'll get into your results next. So let's just do some quick fun icebreakers. Caleb, are you an early bird or a night owl?
Unfortunately, an early bird.
Unfortunately.
Due to sport.
Okay,
that's why.
okay. Favorite cheat meal?
Cheat meal.
Yeah.
KFC.
Oh,
100%.
squats or deadlifts?
Deadlift, any day.
Oh, okay. Favorite music to train to?
Shucks. Amy's music. I don't mind Amy's music. It's actually, it keeps you going, especially in the gym. I would say Amy's music.
She's got pretty good taste in music, and it varies. Beach day or gym day?
I would have to say summer, definitely beach day, the hot
Okay.
summer days.
Oof.
And then winter, when it's colder, it's nice and warm in the gym. So, yeah.
And what's one thing your friends would say you're known for?
Swimming. Swimming.
And
Pretty much swimming.
for just swimming. Silviano? Early bird, night owl.
I'm an early bird.
Sure. Okay. Favorite cheat meal?
It has to be chicken and like fried chicken.
Squats or deadlift?
I think so, squats, because it's harder.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Favorite music to train to?
So I don't train with music, but if I do train with music, it has to be Eminem, of course. Like, it's just aggressive and yeah.
Feel good. Well, I don't know if it's feel good. It's just.
It feels good to train.
Yeah. And what's one thing your friends would say about you?
They will say straight, the powerlifter or bodybuilder, one of those two words.
Are you known by your sport? Okay, and Caleb, what drew you into swimming and lifeguard?
Well, I used to, back in like 2020, 2019, I used to do a lot of cricket and stuff. Back when we lived in Joburg before we moved on to Cape Town. And then as soon as COVID pretty much hit, the only sport that we really could do was swimming. So we started swimming with a private coach for quite some time. And ever since then, we've just done swimming. And then back in 2022, we moved down. And still, it was kind of like lockdown-ish. It wasn't so serious as before, but we saw, I think my dad, one day we were just walking on the beach and saw the lifeguards training. And we were just like, let's try it. And ever since that day, we pretty much just have found a passion for lifesaving and swimming, yeah.
That's awesome. And what are your achievements with swimming and lifeguard?
Well, I would say life-saving, we've gone to nationals a numerous amount of times. We now have worlds at the end of this year, November, December time. Swimming, I'm only really starting to compete now. I have Western Cape champs in a few weeks' time. And then gym with Amy. I'd say some achievements would be definitely the pull-ups, the weighted pull-ups, and deadlift when I did those. Yeah, I wouldn't say gym has really been competitive. It's more been a competitive inside the gym, not outside competing with other people or clubs or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's me.
That's really amazing. We'll get into what happens with the training now. Silviano, how did you find Amy and powerlifting?
So funny story. I think so it was beginning of this year, like the transitioning of last year into this year. I remember I followed Amy on the Bohemian account. She never followed me back. So then I saw the poster for the Battle of the Barracks and I messaged her and I'm like, can I come? And then I'll bring my own chalk. She's like, yeah, sure, just come, you can come. And then she said, you can tag us in your training videos. And I sent him and she asked me, okay, so how old are you? Or she asked me if I work or something. I'm like, I'm 17. She's like, oh, 17. She's like, oh, she got my number and she said I must send her my current training programs. At the time, I used to like make my own programs from stuff that I learned. And then, yeah, Amy just eventually, I started sending my videos to her and she would like correct me on what to do until afterwards, you know, then the rest is history. Yeah.
Did you compete before you met Amy?
No. So after I met Amy, after I saw the Battle of the Barracks, then I saw there was a meet like 20 minutes away from my house, and I was like, I think so I'm gonna do that one just to, you know, get comfortable with competing. So yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And Amy, what stood out for you from day one about these guys?
I think with both of them, what stands out is they dedicated and they committed. They're easy to coach. When they show up, they come in, the first thing that they do is greet me, which is obviously like great manners, which does stand out. And everybody else, they greet everybody else in the gym as well. They're not shy, they're quite confident, but quietly confident, you know, within themselves. They're not arrogant, they take advice really well, they take the coaching, they're very coachable. They know, like, to ask me to check on form and stuff, and they listen to me and they follow the program. And it makes coaching them so much easier when they respect me, and then it's obviously it's a mutual respect between us. But it's been beautiful watching both of them progress in their different ways and in their different sports, and seeing them grow as well. It's very exciting to watch.
And can you tell us, I mean, you trained Silviano for the AWPC Nationals.
Yeah.
What were his results? Do you remember?
I don't remember exact numbers. There's too many people to remember. But he came second in the overall teen category, which was amazing, especially considering he got there late, which we're never going to forgive him for and never going to let him forget. But he did really well. He handled himself beautifully on the day. He was a team player. He gave it everything, and leading up to it as well, he came and he trained here, and I mean, he lives in Grassy Park, so it's really far for him to get here, and he came here every Saturday for the few weeks leading up to Nationals and took his training really seriously. And he came here and he tried and he pushed, and from the numbers that he did at the Battle of the Barracks, which was his first real comp, in a completely foreign environment, around people he didn't know, and lifting weights that he'd never touched before, to go to Nationals after that. And then he did even better at Nationals, and bettered all of those numbers already. And now we've got our eye on Africa Championships. So that's what we're training for now. And I mean, he trains by himself in his garden with minimalist equipment. And he trains in the rain, come rain or shine, between exams. He's really committed, and it's so rewarding training somebody like him.
It's exciting to see your progress. What were your final numbers for the comp?
My total was 372.5 years.
And your individual numbers?
So squat was 130. We'll talk about bench last. Deadlift was 170, and then bench was 72.5. Yeah.
What do you weigh?
And on the day, I competed as under 75 on the day. Yeah. But yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, how does that compare to the other teens on the day?
So Silviano came second, and the one that came first was Zach. who's also a Bohemian kid. He's just on school holidays at the moment. So it was beautiful to see two Bohemian boys standing up on the podium, taking first and second place. And considering the fact that Silviano, what he has to train with, the type of equipment that he has to train with, and that he doesn't have, he only gets wrapped when he's at the gym here with me or if he's at competition. So he doesn't have the benefit of training with wraps. He doesn't have the benefit of training with calibrated plates or even proper bumper plates. His bar isn't the best bar. He was training for a long time on a bench that was made of a plank of wood resting on two plastic paint cans, which was stressing me out to no end. Watching those videos made my eye twitch. But so to have all of those drawbacks and to still come through with such incredible numbers and to better those numbers. Because I think at the Battle of the Barracks, what was your squat at Battle of the Barracks?
Squat is 90. Squat is 90, yes.
Yeah, it was 90 and then we got him up to 130, probably 8 weeks later?
Yeah, it's around about 8 weeks.
Yeah. And that was confidence. There's still a lot more in the tank. We're still building into that and still finding our feet. He's like a giraffe. He's so tall. So he's got a lot further to go down. So now we're working on building some muscle as well as the strength and the confidence under the bar. And then hopefully getting him some better equipment to train with, because he's proven that he's serious about the sport and he deserves it.
What drew you into powerlifting?
Well, initially, when I started lifting weights, I was, of course, the first thing that's going to be promoted to you is bodybuilding. So I used to watch it all the time. You know, you pose in your mirror, you like it and stuff. But now it's like, I want to be competitive in like something to do with lifting weights and like bodybuilding, of course. I'm like, I'm not going to stand on a stage now in a bikini with people looking at me. What's my mother going to think? So then I was like, okay, let me try this powerlifting. And like, of course, it's very easy if you're on social media because competitions are being posted, there's websites, there's everything, so it's very accessible. So yeah.
That's important. And we've got, with you guys are both in very different sports. How does that impact the type of training that you do, and what is the impact on their growth as well? A common question from parents would be, if my child starts training from a young age, am I going to stunt their growth?
Yeah, definitely not. That's very old school. If you still believe that, I can't help you. But you're wrong. That's all I'm going to say. It doesn't stunt your growth at all, especially if it's done properly. And these two are in a gym under a coach, being watched, being guided, following a program, a structured program where they're progressing incrementally, adding weights. And sometimes with them we push a little bit harder because we're testing the waters because we don't know where their end strength is, so we do need to know. And sometimes also boys just want to push a little bit harder and just see where they go. So, it's got to be fun as well. It can't always just be rules. But they do, they progress beautifully, as we've seen with Silviano and with Caleb as well. For Caleb, his training style is a little bit different. So Silviano is more like a classic powerlifting style training, so he follows the powerlifting training style that I have. Whereas Caleb, he's more of a beach specialist in life saving, so that means he needs a lot of explosive movements. He needs to be fast on his feet. He does a lot of sprints. He does an event called flags, which he's exceptionally good at, which is very strange to me still. But they basically lie down on their stomachs in the sand, and then when the whistle blows, they have to explode up, turn around, and sprint across the arena to grab a flag. It's kind of like musical chairs because they keep taking away a flag each time. And he wins like 90% of the time, right? He's very fast. You do. But that requires a lot of explosive energy and explosive power. But strength training is just as important. So I know in the beginning, initially, not so much your mom, but your dad was a little bit worried that, getting stronger was going to make you heavier. Yeah. And in the pool as well. And again, that's also old thinking. Like the research now all shows that strength training is what's going to keep you stronger and more powerful.
Guess even if it did make me heavier, swimming would have kind of balanced it out to keep my weight low.
It does, but also your strength is coming from your glutes and your legs, and that's where your power is coming from. So with strength comes power. And that is, it's already proving itself with him. Already he set a goal the other day of wanting to do 5 muscle-ups by the end of the year, and he managed 4 in a row. You just got side-eyed by Silviano. So it's coming together really, really well, but he's also been very consistent in his training. So their training is still going to be the basics. They're still going to squat, bench, and deadlift, because in some variation that's always going to be important across any sport. It just depends. You just had to vary it and the frequency of it and the weight of it. But I mean, Caleb's also worked up to a very heavy deadlift. What was your max deadlift that you worked up to?
160.
Yeah, at what body weight?
65.
Yeah.
65, yeah.
Yeah. For someone who's never really deadlifted much, we just kept adding and adding and adding until it looked like he was finally feeling a little stressed. But that's pretty good. I mean, not on a platform environment, not peaked, not following a specific like deadlift program to get that far. And you're never going to regret being stronger in any respect. And also another component of it, of being stronger in any sport, is it's going to protect you from injuries. So whether you're doing something like hockey or soccer, those sports where you're constantly running and changing direction, the stronger your ligaments and your bones and your joints are, the less prone to injury you're going to be, and the faster you're going to recover when you do get injured. And I always say when they do get injured, because that's going to happen eventually, there's always something that we can still do. So it does keep them consistent in training as well, so that even if they fall out of, say, their one sport, they can still come and train, and you still feel like you're progressing in some way.
Definitely. When you first walked into the gym, Caleb, you've been doing swimming, you met Amy. How did you feel? Were you nervous, or did you have the boy confidence and walked in and was like, got this?
Yeah, no, that first walk in, it was definitely nerve-wracking for me. I think the first person I met was actually Trish. That...
Hang on, we need to pause there. Please explain to us who Trish is.
Trish is a 60-year-old woman who is not your average 60-year-old woman. No. She is a forensic investigator, and she holds a truckload of world records and titles in powerlifting. And she's an absolute legend in powerlifting. But she's also, can look a little intimidating at first, but she is the sweetest person that you've ever met once you get to know her.
Once you get to know her. Yeah, no, when I first walked in, I would say I was definitely really nervous. I mean, looking around, all these powerlifters and stuff, and I was just this swimmer, and I had just come to get stronger, I guess you could say. But I mean, they were always open and kind to me and stuff, and that kind of like took the weight off my shoulders in a sense, where I would just come in, I would put my music in, go upstairs, do my warm-ups, and then come downstairs and do my workout. But there was so much support, whether it be in deadlift, whether it was squats, whether it was pull-ups, and they would always compliment me on stuff that I would do that maybe they couldn't do, and I thank them for that, because that kept me going in a sense, as opposed to maybe a normal gym at Virgin Active or something like that, where not anyone watches you or compliments you or sees anything that you do. But even Amy, like, she's so supportive and always there to push you and compare you with other people. But
in a good way.
In a good way, definitely in a good way. I'm not sure where I would be without this environment at all, or Amy.
Yeah, it's an incredibly supportive
it really
environment.
Is an incredible environment.
With a real mix of people. It does make it really interesting.
A great mix of people.
And Silviano, I mean, you didn't walk into a gym, you made a gym at home.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? And when you did come and train with Amy for the first time, how did that feel?
Okay, so when training at home, I like so what I would do, they would like be sometimes maybe once or twice I like brought a friend over to train with me. So that just like makes that environment. And sometimes my brother would train with me, but he does martial arts, so he's like, he doesn't lift weights, you see, and he's not that strong, so, and he doesn't want to lift weights with me. See, he must, but he doesn't want to. So I'm always alone, you see. So then I remember the one time, I think so, it was before the Battle of the Barracks, and I told Amy I wasn't supposed to train that week, but then my uncle's friend She works at the Zone Fitness. She told me, no, just come. You can just test the place around, free of charge, and you can just go. And I went there. My experience in that gym wasn't very nice, actually. So like, cause like the people, they had the deadlift platform, but I was there first, but they were like purposefully taking up the space so that I couldn't be there, you see. Then they took like probably 30 to 40 minutes and they left, started laughing. I just did my thing, I went. So my first time being young and like everybody's just so nice. They greet me like, oh, do you need this? Do you need that? Oh no, you're doing good on this, doing that. It's just supportive and you know, it's very helpful. Like Caleb said, compared to like a commercial gym, yeah, like the sport is different, you see.
Yeah. Amy, when people walk into your gym the first time around, what's the first thing that you're going to focus on? Is it building the confidence? Is it technique? Is there mental discipline strength? Is there food that you start with? What's the first thing that you do or you encourage people to do when they come into gym with you?
With me, so the first thing is, it depends on each person. I have to read the people as they come into the gym because everybody comes for different reasons and with different histories and backgrounds and stuff. But I think the first thing is to just make people feel comfortable. They've just got to feel like this is somewhere that they want to come back to. And also you've got to have fun. So they've got to know that they've got to have fun. I swear a lot around them so that they're initiated early. Because if you're not going to get used to that early on, we're not going to work. So as long as people are comfortable and they're having fun, then the rest will follow. Then they're more open to learning and they're more open to following what you got to say, and just generally having a bit more respect for the place and the people that are there as well. So obviously also try and pair people up with other people that are similar, similar experience. I'll give them a little bit of background to each person. I'll say, like a new lady will come and she'll see maybe Trish on the platform lifting heavy weights. And I can see her eyes are big and she's like, she mustn't expect me to do that. And I'm like, no, I'll give a little background and I'll say, Trish has been doing this for a long time and this is where it is and what she's been doing. And then Trish will come over and talk to her and then she'll realize that we're actually all just doing our best. Everybody's just on a different path, but in the same place.
Yeah, I think for all of us who walked in here and there was a couple of swear words, but you just feel really comfortable and welcomed by everyone. So I think it's really important. So, I mean, you're doing all this training. How has it impacted your schoolwork, or has it had a positive impact on your schoolwork, or does it feel like it's made it harder?
Why?
And you're in matric, so obviously there's a lot of pressure to get good results, put extra time into your studies. There's the sport that you've got as well. So, like, what's it like training and managing school?
Wow. Honestly, ever since I picked up weight, believe it or not, my marks have went up actually. So like, because when you work out, you have to, there's a certain amount of discipline that you need to, and commitment that you need to show. So like, after workout, you put so much effort, when the parents say, you put so much effort in your weights, put that in the books. Now you see, I actually did that, you see. And I was like, I want to continue lifting weights, and I don't want my mom to say, no, your marks is dropping, or you're failing because of weights. And I'm like, I'm gonna put the same amount of effort that I put in my weights in the books, and then it all goes up together, you see.
It sounds like it should be another slogan on a t-shirt. I like that. And for you, Caleb?
I would have to say it's pretty much the very, very similar. Sport has a great balance in my life. I think if I didn't do sport, sitting at home and taking shifts of, okay, I'm going to study for 1 hour and then taking half an hour break, that doesn't work. It's for me, it has to be like, okay, I will do my sports in the morning, do my gym or swimming in the morning, and then when I come home, I'll relax, I'll play on my phone for a bit or however long, and then go to the books, study for a bit, go through your work, at least go through everything at least once. Then you can do another training session in the afternoon. That's how I keep it balanced, because some people just study. I'm not a 90s student. I don't want to be a 90s student. Looking at some of these people at school and just how they only look at the books and they have no social life. I couldn't do that. Sport has brought out so many friends in my life, and we've had so many sleepovers and we've done so many stupid, weird things together that makes my life a joy, and I couldn't imagine it any other way.
That's really cool. It's so important. I mean, at your age, you've got a lot of pressure ahead of you. And some of the stats are that people aged between the ages of 24 and 35, the unemployment rate is at 40%. So it's massive. So you've got that pressure, and it's great to hear that you can use sport to actually help you and support you through that process, build friendships. And that's actually a question I want to ask, is what has the impact of your sport been on your friendships? I think in my case, it's created friendships, and it's fantastic, but what's the impact for you guys?
Yeah, no, definitely created friendships. We can, now that we're in school and we pretty much similar age gaps and stuff, you can kind of compare of where you're at and ask questions about work or something like that with your friends. And I mean, it's nice to know that there's other people out there that are in the same or similar boat as you. You're not by yourself. So people who just stick to the books and don't have much friends and don't socialize like that, I think it's very difficult for them to express themselves as what people who go jolling. Okay, I'm not saying jolling is a good thing, but every now and then it's a fun
Having
thing.
fun is important.
Yeah, it is. It's very important.
You can't take life too seriously, right?
Well, I think so. Doing sport, what it does, it gives you something to relate with like your peers and stuff. Like Caleb said, if you just stick to the books, how are you gonna go up to somebody and start a conversation about work? You need like an icebreaker, for example. You see, so like now, for example, you two people who lift weights, you guys can connect, and then eventually you'll become study partners, training partners. You see, just like that.
That's so cool. I mean, you guys are talking about the positive aspects of that. There is also the other side where, as you get older, people aren't necessarily comfortable with what you're doing. And I think we've experienced that is, if you are living this kind of lifestyle, it challenges people. And I think the good thing, and you can touch on that, is at your age now, you know the type of people that you want to be around. And as you get older, this is the beauty of sport, you can actually choose that. But I think as you get older, sometimes you land up in friendships that aren't necessarily the best for you. And sport really makes that clear. If you want to add more to that.
No, absolutely. So where you guys have already got an advantage, apart from the physical advantage of training and being strong and setting the standards so high already when you're quite young, is that you're already identifying as people who are fit and healthy. So that is your identity now. And going forward, those are the kind of people that you're already associating with. So you're going to draw more of those type of people towards you, and be drawn to those kind of people, which is generally a very positive thing. I mean, obviously in sport, there are some drawbacks to certain people. Not everybody who does sport is a nice and good person, but majority-wise, just generally speaking, it is a much healthier environment to be around people who are sporty and healthy. And again, like taking it back to the jawling, as a jawler, you're not going to be out drinking every single weekend and out partying. I mean, you're in your 18, 19, 20s, you're going to go out, you're going to party, that's part of life. But it's not going to be an every weekend thing because you're doing a sport, especially to say something like swimming. You've got galas coming up, you've got training first thing in the morning. You're going to do it once where you wake up hungover and you go and train and you're not going to do it again. So that's where it's different because you have something to wake up for and you have something to motivate you. So by all means have those parties and those weekends, but they're going to be appreciated because they're going to be far between, rather than just become like part of your daily life, which is important.
Yeah, I think that's great because you actually build discipline and specific habits that can take really long to build. So that's really good. From a nutrition perspective, I've got 2 boys. Amy's got 3. And I feel like I spend money on groceries, a lot of groceries. How much food do you guys eat? And Amy, once they're done, explain what's needed from a nutrition perspective.
I would say I just eat when I'm hungry. Whatever's in the fridge, I would just eat. How often am I hungry? All the time. There's no set time when I would eat. Breakfast is a normal. It'll be between 8 and 10 o'clock. You wake up, make something to eat. And you can, I don't know, for me, I wake up, eat, and then I would go train or something like that. And then in the afternoon, you come home, you have a big meal, you somewhat relax and then eat again. have some snacks, and then supper comes and you're eating again. So in my household, food is always there. Well, always needs to be there because I'm always eating. Yeah.
Wow. So I eat 3 times a day. And like now that I'm going up a weight class, of course, so my calories need to be more. So when I wake up, of course, I go to school, and I'm always leaving late for school, so that's like 8 o'clock. But I make sure to eat like not like a snack in the morning, like a full breakfast before I go to school, so that can like give me enough energy till I come back after school, and I eat my second meal, then supper eventually. But in the morning, most people say they like can't eat in the morning before they go to school. Then I'm like, are you sure? Because like, how can you not? You see, and like, my mom's always like, I think it was yesterday. Me, my mom, and my brother left the house in the morning. All go. I went to school. They went, and then they getting ready. They rushing out, and I'm there in the kitchen. I'm cooking. And that means she's like, everybody's rushing to go somewhere. You're just worrying about eating. I'm like, I have to eat it. I have to eat.
Well, it is really important. So you've got a strength training clinic for boys, I think it's between 12 and 16. And one of the things we were speaking to them, or you were speaking to them about today, was the importance of food. And I think it's such a great thing if you learn that now, to get the right habits with eating. It really helps you later on in life. But what do you recommend when it comes to eating, especially for growing boys, growing girls?
So what they're doing, first of all, is very good. I'm very pleased to hear that they're both making their own food because that is important. Especially with boys, one thing you can't be is useless in the kitchen. There's enough of that. So the fact that you can feed yourselves is very important, and I'm very proud of you. So well done, kudos to both of you. Secondly, it is important. I mean, food is the most important thing. They've got to, especially if they're training and they're training hard, they're lifting heavy, they're swimming a lot. Swimming especially makes you like so hungry. So they need to be eating before their training. They need to be drinking enough carbohydrates, like intra-carb drinks and stuff while they're training, and then there needs to be food afterwards and throughout the day. So the focus here is primarily on carbohydrates and protein. Obviously, all boys take their creatine. You don't have to remind them to take that. But yeah, your protein is important, and your carbohydrates. You need to be just eating a lot of carbohydrates. Both of them are burning it off. Caleb is he does a lot of swimming and life saving, and sometimes he can train up to 3-4 times a day, 3-4 hours a day. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's not every day, but some days when it's like that, because it's fun training as well, you know. So it's not going to be 4 hours of continuous training. But it is 4 hours of doing stuff. So he needs to fuel and make sure that he doesn't crash. Otherwise, that's going to affect his performance. And Silviano is going up a weight class, as he said. So he just needs to eat, like anything that stands still, really. Mostly carbohydrates. And I've spoken to both of them about that. So it is very important. And we did talk about it with the juniors this morning, because a lot of kids just don't eat enough. And unfortunately, they're old enough now, and they've learned to eat when they're hungry, which is apparently all the time. But younger boys can't just be trusted to eat when they're hungry. They have to be given the food, you know, until you can get to the point where you can make your own food. Yeah. So they cannot be left to make those decisions themselves. Because they're thinking about other things. They're going to be wanting to be on Xbox or speaking to their friends or going to go skateboard, and then you get them back later and they're having a meltdown, and that's because they're hungry and emotional. So it's just best to avoid that. Just keep them fed.
Just eat lots.
Just eat.
Okay, guys. So, I mean, we've learned that there's some really good habits that you build by training. It is literally never too early to start. So what would you say to a 15-year-old, a nervous 15-year-old who hasn't started training, who's feeling a bit intimidated and wants to kick off? What would you tell them?
Oh, wow. To a 15-year-old starting to train and they're nervous, I'll say don't look at it in the short term, think of it in the long term, because it's not about where you're gonna. It's not about where you start things, but where you're gonna finish. So if you take the decision to do it now, It's better than now saying now I'm gonna start in this when I'm 15, then you procrastinate 16, 17 until you're 22, then you only start the thing, then you think how much better you would have been when you started at 15 instead of now.
Wise words.
I would definitely say, if I could go back in time to when I was 15, I would ask my parents to force me a lot more than what I had a decision over. I can see it definitely now. My brother, he thinks he has choices and stuff like that, but for a 15-year-old boy, I would say you need to be forced. You shouldn't have your own opinion about what you want to and what you
Wisdom from
don't
an
want to do.
18-year-old.
But it's not out of cruelty. It's out of, how can I say it? It's out of respect. Out of it's only going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah.
You're only going to thank your parents later, because you can definitely see at the age of 15 you want to go out and stuff like that, but you're not old enough. You can't drink, you can't drive, you can't nothing. You're basically piggybacking off your parents, and your parents need to force you to do something to keep you entertained. You can't sit inside playing Xbox the whole day. That is for later on in the days that I was always taught. I'm grateful my parents did force me to do this, otherwise I would not be where I am today. But yeah, that's
really important. I mean, Amy, what would you say? I mean, I can already hear the swear words, but wisdom.
Yeah, force is a strong word. But I get what he's saying. No, I get what he's saying. It should be, and again, if it's fun, if it's something that they're going to end up doing that's fun, then they're going to maybe have to get forced the first or second time. But as long as they're doing something and they find it's fun, then they're more likely to stick with it. And if they train with somebody like Caleb has some training partners, and it makes a big difference, especially when you're a teenager. Even the junior clinic now, these 4 boys that are in it at the moment never met each other before on Monday, and today's Friday was their 3rd session, and they're all best buds and helping to rack and unrack each other's bar and like saying, sure, you're so strong, how are you going to do more? So especially with boys, it's like a peer pressure thing, but it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It can be a positive thing. It can be okay, well, we're going to the gym, and then mock each other if you don't show up, you know? That's kind of how it should be. And as long as they're in an environment where they're being monitored, but they still have a bit of freedom to continue things with themselves, which is kind of how I train a lot of the teens. I'll give you your program. I'll show you how to do things. I'm here for you on the floor the entire time if you need it, and I am watching you, but I give them space, because a lot of teens these days don't have the kind of freedom and independence that we had when we were younger. So they need a little bit of space as well to figure stuff out for themselves. You know, sometimes you got to learn how gravity works on your own.
So true. Look, I think what I've realized after these 2 episodes is that strength doesn't have an age limit. It's so important. Just get started. There is always something that you can do. And the beauty of starting young is that you build really important, good habits that are going to help you later on in life. Create friendships that will support you. And you've just built mental strength and resilience and the ability to know that you can do hard things. I think that's really, really important. So, yeah, I think get going. If you haven't started training, it's really never too late. And yeah, I think in one or few words, what would you guys say in closing to your general audience going forward?
I would say do what you love, do what you find a passion for. Don't let other people dictate your decisions, because you will probably end up better off than what they are or will be. I'm very grateful that is the case in my life, that I had people around me who were supportive and pushed me to my limits where I thought I could never go. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And that's who I am today, I guess.
That's awesome.
Well, my message to everyone would be, everybody says you love once, but that's not the case actually. You love every day actually. So it's about making every day count. If you want to do something in your life, if there's something you want to start up, just take the initiative. There's nothing wrong with being wrong, or there's nothing wrong with failing. In fact, failing should be one of the best things that you want to do, because you're going to learn from that. And that's the only way that we're able to learn, and being realistic with yourself, not in a way of not having confidence and like shutting yourself down, but as in telling yourself what is your strengths, what you're good at and what you're not. And like, just setting goals for yourself and just always looking forward. That would be the main things, yes.
Sure, powerful. And you, Amy?
I'm so blown away at how wise they are, eh? For 18. So wise. No, really, you guys have got some good gems there. But they are 100% right. Like Caleb said, don't let people dictate what to do unless you're under 18 and your parents must force you into training. But they're both right, because you have to enjoy what you're going to be doing. And then I think the important thing is also that strength it's not just powerlifting, like with Caleb and a lot of the others that come here as well. They're not necessarily all going to be powerlifters. They're doing powerlifting style training, which benefits them in any sport. And it's going to make them stronger for their sport and faster in their sport and protect them from injuries in their sport. But they're also having fun doing it, because who doesn't want to be stronger? Right? Who doesn't? Exactly. Not anybody I want to know.
Oh, thank you for sharing this, guys. And in a world where there is so much pressure on our teenagers, it's great to see that you are full of wisdom at your age and confidence. And it's just so enlightening and awesome to see. And it gives us hope for the future generation. It really does. So thank you. And thank you for joining us on F is for Feral.
Ha 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 ha!